everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Johnny Lopez, and welcome to the Rocket Channel. Today, we are going to be reviewing the announcements that came out at Ignite this year for Microsoft SharePoint. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the home site app for Teams. So a lot of organizations out there have been using the intranet as a canvas for communication. SharePoint has been leading that platform for intranets, enabling organizations to connect to the workplace, share information, and deliver rich employee experiences, right? So now there's a new thing that's coming out as people are using Teams more. Microsoft is going to bring in that home site app into Microsoft Teams. So what that does, that actually allows you to, this app has a multi-level navigation that lets people find sites across the organization, including portals, teams, communities, and applications. So sites built on modern SharePoint will render inside Teams itself, and the app makes it easy to share and discuss content for intranet sites and team channels and chat. So with the home site app, people can tap into news resources across the intranet without leaving the hub for teamwork. And communicators can build and deliver rich communication experiences in Teams. The next thing we're looking into is global navigation and news on any site. So what that means is the new SharePoint app bar brings a consistent navigation experience to every site on the intranet, featuring quick access to important sites across the organization, personally relevant sites, and the newsfeed. So this customizable global navigation in the app bar is shared with the home site app, giving employees that consistent navigation experience across Teams and the browser. Improvements to news feeds and digest. So there are some improvements that are coming. So based on factors like your role or location and further personalized based on signals in Microsoft Graph about how, where, and whom you work with, there are going to be some targeted news and digests and feeds delivered to your mailbox based on those factors. Other thing is, the only thing you need to do is boost the visibility of important news articles in the feed. Rather than relying solely on AI, soon you can boost a news post until it has been read for a set number of impressions or until a given date has been met. When the criteria is satisfied, then the post returns to its normal position in the feed. So this is a really way to deliver enhanced news feeds that support boosting boosting news in web parts and SharePoint and those different types of things. Automatically generated news digest. So Microsoft is listening. So in employees across the organization are trying to keep up with so much news and information, it can be challenging. To help some of this workplace communication, the automatically generated news digest will send an email summary, of course curated by AI, and of news articles you may have missed or not have read that week. The digest will help ensure people stay on top of news that you have boosted as a communicator, and you can customize the news digest with your organization's branding, which is a really cool feature. I suggest you look into this. You can disable this. It does take PowerShell to disable. If you don't want people to be bombarded with news, you can disable this. But to explain it to someone, think about it as you work in Office 365 and Microsoft Graph captures your activity, and based on the sites that you viewed, the news stories that you've read, those different types of things, this news digest will automatically send messages of news stories that you might be interested in because of what you work, who you work with, and what the sites that you visited. Share a news article. So now you can start sharing these SharePoint news articles in Teams channel or Yammer community. So, which is really nice. To reach out, you want to reach to your audience and encourage conversations about a specific item, you can now share it across Yammer communities and also team channels. Let's talk about built-in templates. Yeah, so built-in templates. There is a lot of talk about this. If you understand what the lookbook is and how you could use the booklet to build beautiful employee experiences in SharePoint. So these are SharePoint site templates that you can deploy to your tenant. Now you can use built-in templates to give any site an extreme makeover. So templates like the leadership connection template, the perspective template, they have been purpose built to support specific scenarios. They integrate with the superpowers of SharePoint and other Microsoft 365 experiences, and deliver these beautiful out of the box designs you can customize with no code to reflect your branding and your needs. And of course, these templates are responsive and accessible, so your experiences can be inclusive of all users across devices. Now, one of the things with built-in templates in the lookbook, you have to be a global admin to deploy these. So what happens today with the lookbook is you have to be a global admin, and you have to create a site collection in order to get that template from the lookbook. Well, what the built-in template does, it actually is going to let you deploy that template from the lookbook directly to an existing site to revamp that site and add specific web parts, features, and to be able to showcase different things. So that I'm really excited about the built-in templates. I can't wait for them to show up because I'm going to start all my classic sites. I'm going to start pushing lookbook templates to. SharePoint Spaces. So this is generally available now. So Microsoft did announce that it reaches general availability this fall. So SharePoint Spaces enable anyone to create immersive and engaging mixed reality experiences that showcase 3D content models and 360-degree imagery and bring 2D content to life with stunning new ways. So this is a SharePoint site collection. So if you enable SharePoint Spaces, you have to create this specific site collection for it, and you'll be able to use this. So looking forward to trying out the SharePoint Spaces. I did try it out in the beginning of this year when it was in preview and also in beta. Really nice functionality. I can see a lot of things that really come with SharePoint Spaces. Let's look at the SharePoint site roadmaps. There are some things that are coming out. So recently released have been some site experiences like the SharePoint home site navigation, extended site footer, the hub permissions, hub analytics. I'm not sure if you've seen the hub permissions, but you can actually, for the sites that are associated to a hub site, you can push permissions down. So that way the hub site owner has permissions to those sites and no one loses access. Also, the site members and site visitors can also see the sites that are associated to the hub site in a certain way. It doesn't break the inheritance of the sites, but this is a nice way for you to replicate permissions. And then also more ways to upgrade classic sites into modern. That was recently released, so I did a video on, check out my playlist. There's a video out there for that. Content management, audience targeting for navigation, multilingual pages and news, site analytics updates, right? Hub analytics, man, this is, the analytics is really getting strong with SharePoint. Tenant-wide office templates hosted by SharePoint or asset libraries. Pages, web parts and news. So page authoring updates, web parts, save for later web parts, SharePoint news, auto digest. Even more with the fluent design, performance improvements, diagnostic tools. If you haven't downloaded the SharePoint diagnostic tool, you're selling yourself short. It's an add-in to Chrome or Edge, and it will really run that page diagnostic tool for SharePoint and tell you where your slowness is coming from a page. Apps source store support for SharePoint framework solutions. Some of the things that's coming. So again, we talked about the site experiences. So the end of 2020 site experiences, the SharePoint app bar with global nav, site templates, site header updates, content management around audience targeting for quick links and event web parts, scheduling for pages and news, multilingual navigation editing, page authoring, web parts, org chart web part. Actually, the org chart web part is already out. So if you haven't seen that, go out and take a look at it. It's really cool. SharePoint News. This is the boost for corporate communicators. This is the way that they would boost the news stories. And even more stuff like SharePoint Spaces GA, Touchpoint, PowerShell portal launch scheduler, improve the Teamify experience. You know, if you're familiar with the Teamify experience today for a classic site, first you have to groupify it and then you have to Teamify it. It's actually making it very easy for you to start taking existing SharePoint sites and creating those teams, the Microsoft Teams on top of that site. And then Q1 2020, that home site app and Teams is coming out, and then the SharePoint Spaces embed web part. So you can actually extend that SharePoint Spaces solution to any site with that web part. And then home sites. Home site is coming out. These are some of the things that are coming out for the home sites. Lots of information to talk about. The extended site footer and header, mega menu for navigation, SharePoint app bar, those different types of things. So all these are coming out. One of the pin home site and app to app launcher, that's another one that's coming out in the fourth quarter. Multilingual navigation editing. So you can go to spo.ms/site footer, site header navigation. All these links will take you to the availability and also how you use those as well. So keep in mind that the target timeframe represent the best estimates and are subject to change as project plans change and priorities are reevaluated. So, hey guys, thanks for joining today. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the Microsoft SharePoint Ignite recap. And I look forward to talking with you guys soon. Take care. Have a good one.